The Sudan's military leaders have called for elections to be held in 9 months, a day after a deadly crackdown on a protest camp in Khartoum. At least 35 people were killed after troops slammed the main camp of pro-democracy protesters. This protest group accused the ruling military council of trying to break up the camp, calling the action a bloody massacre. More in our next report.
After bloody attacks on pro-democracy protesters by the troops that killed 35 people, the Sudan's Transitional Military Council, or the TMC, has scrapped all agreements with the protesters and opposition parties and announced that elections will be held within 9 months.
المجلس العسكري يأسف لما صاحب عملية نظافة شارع النيل صباح اليوم من أحداث.
Our honorable citizens, a legitimate mandate can only be made through the ballot box. As a result, the Military Council has decided the following. Firstly, cancelling what has been agreed and ending negotiation with the Declaration of Freedom and Change Forces. Secondly, a call to general elections within a period that does not exceed 9 months from now, with international and regional monitoring, creating a necessary environment for this.
On Monday, security forces stormed a protest camp in Khartoum, killing dozens of people. The attack was the worst incident of violence since President Omar al-Bashir was overthrown in April. The protest group accused the ruling military council of trying to break up the camp, calling the action a bloody massacre.
It is inappropriate, not correct and unacceptable by any rules or regulations for armed forces equipped with heavy weapons to deal with unarmed civilians, whatever the acts are.
The Sudan's military has been condemned for their violent attack on protesters. The United States and the UK have condemned the attack, calling it brutal and outrageous. While the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres called for an independent investigation, saying he was alarmed by reports that officers opened fire at a hospital.
The Secretary General strongly condemns the violence and reports of the excessive force used by security personnel on civilians that have resulted in the deaths and injury of many. He condemns the use of force to disperse the protesters at the sit-in site, and he is alarmed by reports that security forces have opened fire inside medical facilities. The Secretary General reminds the Transitional Military Council of its responsibility for the safety and security of the citizens of Sudan. He urges all parties to act with the utmost restraint.
The assault on the pro-democracy protesters signaled an end of the military council's tolerance of the demonstrations that have been going on for a while now. The protesters have been camped outside the military's headquarters for months. They've been demanding a civilian-led government since the troops ousted longtime President Omar al-Bashir. After the coup, the military council and the opposition groups had agreed on a 3-year transition to democracy, a decision the people of the Sudan were unhappy about. Now, with the military council announcing the decision to hold elections within 9 months, it appears that the pro-democracy protesters may end the confrontation with the military council. Bureau Report, Wion, World is One.